It's Chris Fade and Caroline Stanbury's Not So Epic podcast.
Brought to you by NMC Healthcare and Cosmesurge. Head to cosmesurge.com.
We are back. Did you like that?
Yes, back. It's really, really exciting to be back with you, Chris.
Thank you. That's sarcasm, but we're going to roll it out. We'll keep it going. Chris and Caroline's Not So Epic podcast. We're back for another episode. Angami, iTunes, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe, follow. Tell your friends.
Listen to us.
Listen to us.
Yeah, we're a lot of fun.
You probably are. I don't know where you're listening to us from. Hey, but we want to do this as well. If you're on Instagram, we're on Instagram.
We are. Follow Chris and Caroline. Chris with a K. He had to be difficult.
I know. Chris with a K, Chris and Caroline on Instagram. Send us an inbox if you're listening. We just want to say hello. We'll give you shout outs as well. And if you've got any questions or topics you want us to talk about, please do that. Chris and Caroline on Instagram. We're back with another episode and we're kicking it off. I thought you and I would have known each other not for too long, actually, even though I feel like I've known you for longer than I actually have. I want to get to know each other. I want us to tell each other something that we don't know about each other, that we wouldn't know about each other yet.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean? Because I'm going to tell you something about me that you probably don't know.
I'm sure I don't know, Chris.
Okay, I'm a borderline hypochondriac.
I thought you were saying narcissist.
Yeah, well, I am that too. Damn. But yeah, like I feel like if anything goes wrong with like health anxiety, I have health anxiety.
No, but that's all men, Chris. That's like man flu.
Is it?
I'm dying. Yes, women, we give birth, we go to work, we get up, we do our jobs, we do 3 jobs in a day, come home, put our feet up and still stay quiet. Men have the snivels, get a runny nose, and they are literally they're choosing a coffin.
I just told you something really personal about myself. And that was the response.
Sorry, Chris. But you just stood up.
I'm a hypochondriac and I have health anxiety. She's like, yeah, whatever. We have kids. And you're like,
Can you imagine,
women
Chris?
listen, I'll be straight out. Yeah, I believe women, like pain threshold, I believe you guys have got.
You know what? My last tattoo, Chris, I got it while I had my eyelashes done.
Yeah, I saw that.
Let's be real, Chris.
I saw this tattoo getting done. What does it say?
It says, dream your fears.
Dream your fears. I like that. Very well written.
Isn't it beautiful?
Script
but the guy said he'd never, ever, ever given a tattoo while someone got their eyelashes done. I was in a hurry, Chris, in a hurry.
When you get your eyelashes done, what does that mean?
Well, like they were gluing them on individually. So it means you have to lay very still while I had my arm out and they tattooed me at the same time.
It's very good. They put an individual eyelash on.
Yeah. That's not what you're looking at right now. These are strips, Chris. So you can.
This is all one strip. This is glued,
all one strip.
But
glued.
there is a job. Someone has the
a job
ability
to do each and every one. But the thing is, I'm allergic to the glue, so I was having a patch test, and at the same time, I called my tattoo artist in London, who's very famous, and was going to Canada the next day. So I wanted to have this tattoo done very quickly.
Such an unusual life.
Oh, and I also got this one. I got 2 tattoos.
Oh, a little triangle.
It's the male sign of, strength, really. So
the male sign.
Yes, so I'm the man in this relationship, Chris. Clearly.
Is there a female sign for the...
Yes, with the point going down.
But you went for the male.
I went for the male.
Boss lady, the power,
Yes, Chris.
Wow, I'm a little worried now.
Yes, you should be.
Is this a new ring? If you're not watching this on YouTube, you've got like a... what's that? What do you call that?
Just a V, Chris.
The V with diamonds in it.
Yes, this is Anita Ko, who's a very good friend of mine.
Anita Ko. Mm-hmm. What does she need? A co?
She's a beautiful jewelry designer, Chris.
Okay, sorry, Anita.
It's all right.
Can we go back to it? I've just told you that I have health anxiety.
Yeah.
So I feel like if
I'm just not sure I believe you.
I know I'm being 100% true. Like that's what I'm saying. Close friends know this about me. That's why I'm trying for us to get to know each other a little bit more. So
do you want a hug?
No, I don't need a hug. But like, if I feel like I've got a headache, like I'll actually go brain tumor. No, that's not a joke. So like this week I've had like really bad headaches because of jet lag, and I'm like, I've probably got a brain tumor. I convinced myself that I had multiple sclerosis. I went and did an MRI on my brain. I'm not joking. You think I'm joking?
I'm taking it all in, Chris. I'm taking it all in. I'm trying to work out how to respond to this without
I want us
you.
to get to know each other a little bit more. So I'm telling you things that only like real close people know about me.
Thank God, and I think you should keep it that way.
Wow. There's a whole movement out there that if you're not feeling well, to tell people about it. Tell your friends. I'm all right. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Caroline's like, nah.
You've got a brain
don't want to
tumor.
know. Just you keep that within yourself.
Keep it within yourself. Yes, Chris. No, look, I think these kind of things are the trouble is the internet. I think that if you Google a lot of your symptoms, you can come up with quite a lot of
And
things.
everything ends up cancer or brain tumor.
Exactly.
No, honestly, it's like that's where it always ends up, and I don't know why.
Well, I have here's my thing. I have a terrible memory, like really bad. And I actually went for a full scan because I thought I was dying. Not dying, but I was like, it's just not normal. I had to call my husband after, how long have we been married? 15 years at the time, it's 17 years now, and ask him what colour his eyes were. He was so angry with me, he hung up. But I was actually in the hospital filling out forms, so I didn't have time for this. I had to keep kind of calling him back. And I called the hospital and I had to give my children's birthdays and got both of them wrong. So I had to pretend that I was my own secretary so I could check. And that's when Let me just see. Yes. Yeah. These things happen. I don't know, but I didn't. I went for a scan and I was absolutely fine. Apparently, I have something called selective memory.
If you ask her about any wine, champagne that she had,
what street Chanel's on in such a way.
Do you remember what glass of wine you had back in 1994 in Monte Carlo? Yes, I do. But ask her about the kids' birthdays. Not sure.
Not sure.
Think January. Nope. April.
This is not multiple choice, Caroline.
So you're okay though. You're fine.
I'm absolutely fine. Yes.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go. I told you all about my health anxiety. We've just really stomped on that.
Yes.
We don't care.
We do know that you are fine, Chris.
Okay.
That's the thing. You are fine.
You got to just keep telling me that I'm okay.
You just got up. You stood up before, your back was really aching, and I'm the one that's got a really bad back right now.
But I will always take on someone else's ailment. So if you have something, I will then convince myself that I have it.
So this is like what happens when Brianna gets pregnant. You're going to have what's it called? Pregnancy by osmosis or whatever.
When Brianna...
Yeah. Oh. You'll be walking around in more pain than Brianna.
Can we talk about babies? Because you've got an older one. How old's your daughter?
13. I can't quite believe it.
And I've got a 9-year-old. That's how... I've got 2 daughters. You've got a daughter and 2 girls.
And my boys are 9.
Yeah, I know. So someone said on my Instagram yesterday, and I thought of you as well, because Nushi, my eldest, who's 9, came in wearing my mother's high heels and a dress, and she had her hair out, and she's 9, but for a split second she looked older than 9. And then a few people on my Instagram were like, oh my gosh, Chris, you got a lot of trouble, you better watch out when she gets older, and I thought, oh my gosh, I don't even want to go, I don't even want to think of my daughters having boyfriends and doing all that. Now your 13-year-old is, in a couple of years' time, that's going to be somewhat reality, right?
Forget it. My husband has a coronary, literally, when she puts lip gloss on. I mean, literally. He can't cope. This is the only thing Jem and I really argue about in the house are the children and my daughter and the boys, because we have different parenting.
So what, he doesn't want makeup, lip gloss, nothing like that on?
Nothing. And she's 13, and at this point, I'd rather personally that she had a tiny little bit of lip gloss than got to somebody's house and did full-on makeover, and I allow her that. And, they've gone through this stage where right now kids are going through this whole pink hair, blue hair stage, which
Billie Eilish is one of the reasons why.
Whatever, it's awful.
Singer, yeah.
Again, in the holidays, I allow it. Go with the pink hair, it washes out, no big deal. He literally can't breathe. And he's going to find it really, really hard, I've got to be honest. And he's done this thing. He's hacked into her emails. He's in her phone. Yeah, another thing. Eventually he's going to... It's
what's going to happen? Because I feel like, your husband, Jem, is where I may be in a couple of years. I let the girls even now just put on a little bit of lip gloss. I'm cool with that. I thought I'd rather be... What I'm trying to be as a parent is, and I'm sure you're probably on the same wavelength, you don't want them to rebel and hide against you and do it, or you'd rather be part of the journey with them and go with it.
Absolutely. It's going to happen with or without your permission. So they either shove it in a rucksack and get out and, do it anyway, and then they wash it all off by the time, or you see exactly how they leave the house, which is my version of it. Look, they're all kind of wearing the same stuff. They all shop in the same stores. They all want to go to these like teen shops. And I'd just rather be there and buy it. Whereas my husband is just like, he just wants us back in a full-on smock dress, which is it's just unrealistic.
I saw you give makeup advice to your daughter. Did she do a whole face?
No, she gave me.
Shit.
That's me. Her teaching me. She can do it. I can't do my makeup. Yeah, Huda Beauty sent us a whole load of stuff, and which gets taken before I even get to look at it.
By Jem?
Yeah, no, by my daughter. And she she gives me makeup tutorials now on my eyes. This was not done by me, Chris.
So, yeah, that's right. We learned that you don't really know how to do makeup.
No, I'm terrible. Awful.
How old were you when you started wearing makeup? Do you remember?
Well, see, I didn't really wear it very early on because I grew up in Dorset, and we went to Pony Club camp, and it was just a different time. Nobody thought about things like that. And looking back at the pictures, God, I wish I'd worn makeup.
Yep, sorry, that's my phone. I should have put it on silent.
Yeah, you could do that now, Chris.
I'll do it now. Do you want me to read out the message live?
Yes, no. By the way, while he is taking messages, we all do really want you guys to guide us in next week's podcast. So please do send us messages.
Now, hold on, that was amazing what you just did then.
Why?
Because you're not in, like, I do radio every day.
Oh.
That right there was an amazing segue. I'm very proud.
Well, I've been away from you for quite a long time, Chris, so I've been learning lots of things.
Chris and Caroline on Instagram. That's Chris with a K. Send us an inbox. Send us a message. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Also, follow us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes, whatever it is. Okay, so 13. Is she 13 going on to 21 though?
Yes.
Do you feel that?
She hates me right now. I'm going through a really difficult, awkward stage.
Yeah.
1 minute she hates me, literally hates me, and it's that terrible, like Miley Cyrus attitude.
Yeah.
Everything's this with an eye roll. All they want to do is shop, like, and it's not about expensive things. She doesn't want like designer clothes. She doesn't want anything like this. She just wants to go to the mall all day and shop with her friends without me.
She wants to be cool. She wants to do her thing.
Yeah, and it's just everything I do is uncool, where other people think I'm quite cool. And most of my boys really love me.
Yeah.
Really, really love me.
That may change as well when they get older, no?
I think it's going to swap over, apparently.
We're living in Dubai. Obviously, Caroline and I both live in Dubai. I'm originally from Australia. You're originally from the UK. I think growing up in Dubai, though, like, I like it. I feel for our kids' sake, you know what I mean? Even though they get a little spoilt and all that, but I feel so safe dropping the kids off to the mall, for example.
Oh, that would never happen in the UK. You could never.
Right.
You dropped off a 13-year-old in the mall. I mean, you'd be arrested for being the worst parent. Whereas here, it's completely safe. You
Fine
do that
to do it, yeah.
But you've got a different thing where you're bringing up two girls. I mean, as a man, that is really hard.
Yeah, I'm like Will Smith and Martin Lawrence in Bad Boys. I'm when that knock at the door where the boy comes from one of my daughters.
That. You're going to have to go through the whole puberty thing on your own. I mean, that is going to be buying bras. I can't wait to see that, Chris.
My youngest one she came home with like a little, I think they call them a sports bra.
Yeah. How did you handle that, Chris?
I said, where'd you get that from? Because I didn't buy it. She goes, one of the girls at school gave it to me. I said,
yeah, because who wants to ask their dad to go training bra shopping? But now
9 years old, doesn't need to anyway.
Yeah, they want one though. They want one, Chris. It's not about needing them. They want them.
I've been
all got
training
them.
hard.
You've probably got bigger breasts than them, but yes, go.
Can we not talk about that?
They want them.
This is all too much for me.
But they have to.
I don't.
You have to do it. You have to go. They want to go to Victoria's Secret.
We're not talking. They're 9 and 7. I'm not talking about. How did you get the Victoria's Secret?
Because there's a young person's one, not the older one. There's like the young, the teen one.
Yeah.
What's it called?
I don't know, but it's not. I'm not. What's it called? The one, the pink.
Pink. They want to go to pink.
Pink. Yeah, no. Only
She's
pink
9.
is fairy candy cane, cotton candy. All right, well, I felt I'm uncomfortable about this whole discussion, actually.
Periods.
Yeah, no, don't even start. Don't even say that word. Do not say that. How old is it?
It hasn't come yet. Not for me.
No.
It came a long time ago.
And when? Is it still there? Is it still coming?
I think it's gone. Those days have been gone, Chris.
There's so much. If you're not a parent, there's so much. People don't know. If you're not a parent, you look at people who aren't parents sometimes, and
it's
you're
different because I'm a woman. You've got to do this as a man.
Yeah, I know, but
you've got to really think about this, Chris. You've got to go. You've got to talk about periods.
I know. Well,
it's happening with or without you.
I had to have the discussion about babies the other day, really.
Well, I think we've skipped a few steps.
What?
We could
No,
have started
because-
with the periods.
No, but the baby, no, I know, right? Well, first you have to get the. But it was like I forget what the question was, but they asked me. It was so innocent.
Oh God, how do they arrive?
It's something like that.
Yes,
And,
my boys. I showed them my boys their birthing video.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my God,
Why
it was
would
hilarious.
you do that? You have a birthing video, by the way.
Yeah, you want to watch
Is that a, no? Is that a thing?
Yeah, but out of my tummy, not out of the other way. And the boys, they seriously asked me why they didn't come out the slide.
Mum wasn't feeling it that day, guys.
There was no slide.
So what do? Who filmed? You have a.
My husband filmed it. No, I have a film crew in there.
Oh, there was a film crew in
No.
there. Welcome, episode 17. Caroline Stanbury
gives birth
Give birth
to
Hey,
twins.
People would watch it.
Yeah.
So you had a C-section planned?
No, it was an emergency C-section actually, and so my husband filmed it. And they take your insides out. I didn't know they take your intestines out. And my husband's going, "It's like a Quentin Tarantino movie."
Oh my
And then the
gosh.
boys are pulled out by their feet, and you can see you did the thing. I'll bring it over. You and Brianna
Do
can
not
watch
wanna
it.
watch
yeah,
that.
you do. Yeah, we thought you wanted to get
Were
closer.
you out for that?
No, no, I was awake.
You know, when my ex-wife had our first or second child, I was in the operating room, and it was again a C-section. It was not planned though; it was an
Yeah.
emergency C-section, and I was just in the room. I remember that, and I was standing in the corner, and I'm like, "Well, what do I do here?" But there was so much going on because it was a bit frantic.
Chris, you couldn't do my fillers. I'm not
What?
really sure how you did.
I
birthing.
nearly fainted. No,
Yeah.
and you know how you said, I saw them do the incision.
Yeah.
And then I remember saying to the doctor and the crew, "Am I supposed to be here?"
Yeah.
And they completely ignored me because they were doing
Yeah,
their own thing.
yeah, yeah.
So I just sat there and it was like Jem said, it is like a Tarantino movie. You think it's done really eloquently and very like gentle, like we're going to do a little cut. It's like pop,
Yeah, yeah.
you know what I mean? I was waiting
Yeah.
for Nusret to sprinkle a bit of salt on top and go, "We're done."
Yeah.
You know?
he stayed around there because they actually have a sheet, obviously, in front of
So
my
you
face.
don't see any
so,
of that?
No, you don't see any of it. So you don't really know. It just feels like someone's like got their hands and pulling
Oh
and
my
tugging.
gosh,
things.
I couldn't.
But you don't really feel anything else, and you're so glad it's just coming to an end, honestly. And I'd done, I think, 15 hours of something of labour, and the boys were, I was too small to have delivered both the twins, and they turned the other way. So anyway, I think it's an amazing thing. Actually, in the videos, I'm so glad I've got it on video. I mean, it's really incredible.
Netflix.
Netflix and chill.
Just put it on there.
Which is Netflix and chill. There you go. Did you know I put that up on my thing on my Instagram the other day? What Netflix and chill actually means?
You didn't know what Netflix and chill
No
meant?
idea. Am I the only person?
Of course it is.
What do you mean? Of course it is. It means
I sent-
Netflix and chill.
No, it doesn't. It means
Come over and have sex with me.
Yes. You saw the
Why?
video that I sent to
Why?
I had my mother ask David Guetta randomly.
To Netflix and chill with her.
No, I said, Mum said to David Guetta, "Do you know what Netflix and chill means?" David Guetta absolutely lost it. If we've got the footage of that, throw that in.
Okay.
But you didn't know that
No,
Netflix
my
and chill
daughter
means
told me when
your
she saw
daughter
it
knew
on-
that. So if
Yes.
anyone ever says to you or to anyone, "Hey, do you want to come over and we'll Netflix and chill?"
Yeah.
that is code for "Do you want to come over and."
But why, Chris? When you're turning on Netflix and literally chilling?
Because you turn on Netflix, you turn something on, you watch it for about 15 minutes.
No, I watch it for an hour and a half till the movie finishes.
Yeah,
Lewis.
all right. Well, there's definitely no Jam, there's no Netflix and chilling there, mate.
I took it down.
Okay.
I've been asking people to Netflix and chill with me for quite a long time.
Got random people going, "Yes, my name is Mohammed, and I would like to Netflix and chill with you, Caroline."
I'm like, sure, come
Hey,
over.
this is Jake in Texas. I'm ready to Netflix and chill with you.
I just don't understand. Like, I'm not down with the lingo.
Yeah,
My
Netflix
daughter
and chill.
actually, after this mistake, taught me quite a few different ones, but I can't remember them all now. But there were so many that I hadn't heard of. And this was just this one I would never have understood.
Yeah, okay, so we've learnt now, if you did not know what Netflix and chill meant, if anyone ever says to you, "Do you want to Netflix and chill?" it means they want to begin watching a TV series or a movie.
And then
with
penetrate you.
And then, yes, it's You're not watching it anymore.
No, I heard that.
Okay, I'm glad that we're learning this, Caroline.
Good.
Chris and Caroline's podcast. Follow us. We're not ending. We're still going.
Oh,
here.
okay,
All
fine.
right. Follow us though on Instagram as well. Chris, that's Kris, and Caroline Stanberry. Inboxes. Tell us what you want us to talk about. Also, big shout out to the guys at Cosmosurge as well.
Absolutely.
and if
Keeping
you-
my face young,
If
keeping
you-
it up.
If you want to look at previous episodes, you'll see them. Dr. Kasabian from Cosmosurge doing a bit of.
Yeah, and we're going to have Dr. Lana on in the next week as well. She's also been doing like all these things like vampire facials. I don't know if you know anything about these.
Is that where
but
they
it's
take
coming.
the blood from
Yes.
some part of the body and they put it in your face?
Your arm, yeah. They take the blood out of your arm and then spin it and then put it into your face all over. It's big with Kim Kardashian and all these kind of people. You should try one, Chris.
Did you watch? Did you watch David Letterman with Kanye West?
No, was it good?
Watch it. It's on Netflix.
Is he a bit crazy? He seems a little bit.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to talk about was that after you hear so much about Kanye West and Kim Kardashian and all that, and you think, wow, crazy. After watching the 40 minutes or so with David Letterman, who I love, Dave Letterman is just like
He's amazing.
He's so
an
cool, right?
Institution.
I really like Kanye. Like I really like him a lot more after watching it. And he talks about mental health. He's bipolar.
Right.
He's 100% bipolar. He opened up about it. He needs to be on medication at certain points of his life. But
She seems to handle him really well. Really well.
Yeah, and they kept cutting to Kim in the crowd.
Yeah.
And I was really, for the first time, Kardashians and Kanye, I was like, oh, they're really cute and they are really in love. And
I've got a whole newfound respect for her since she started to do her law degree.
Yeah.
I've got to be honest, watching her do that 4 years and saying with no social life, that is one hell of a commitment to do something that you're not really into.
and she doesn't need to do it,
She
right?
does not need to do this. She could pay someone else to do this for her. She doesn't need to do it, and she could give up. She hasn't. I have to say, hats off to her because that's no joke.
Would you go back to college? Would you go back to... Did you have a degree?
No, I barely finished my GCSEs. I couldn't wait to get out.
GCSEs is school, right? 12? Grade 12? Or...
No, I wasn't 12 when I
No,
left school.
grade 12 or 13,
I don't
right?
know what that is. 18. I left school at 18, whatever that is here.
Yep.
But
Where in London?
and in the countryside.
Okay,
A
in
boarding
England?
school. I went to boarding school.
Boarding
Chris.
school?
Yeah, from the age of 6 to 18.
All girls?
Some were mixed, some were not. I preferred all girls because, with the mixed ones, you had to always get up in the morning and worry about what you were wearing.
Yeah.
And the boys you'd walk into breakfast, and the boys would go 6, 5, 3, get out.
Or they just rated you when you walked in.
Awful.
So if you could go back or you would get a degree, what would you get a degree in?
God, I wouldn't change anything. I don't know.
No.
What would I
I'm
get?
not saying that you have to.
I
But I'm
know.
saying if you had to go back now and get a degree, what would you want to get a degree in?
Probably
Anything.
actually criminal law, like she's doing. I think it'd be fascinating, absolutely fascinating, the psyche of people like this.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I was with a girlfriend of mine in Los Angeles, and she's a psychotherapist. And for her degree, she has to do 3 years with people with 3 mental disabilities. So from multiple personality disorder to, people that have killed, they're all out of prison. So she actually rehabilitates them, and they've all murdered people, and she's from a very good family. She does not need to do this, and it's part of her thing. And every day she takes her life in her own hands to go and sit with these men in a room by herself, drive them around town. She has to get into their lives and rehabilitate them. It's insane.
Scary and cool at the same time.
Insane, but so cool. Like, none of them have done under 20 years in jail.
Wow, and they're out in public.
They're
now.
out in public, and she is literally driving them around. I'm like, isn't this? Is that who watches you?
It's like
She's
a
like,
movie.
yeah, it's beyond. And I sat with her for a long time in Los Angeles, and it's fascinating. And she's like, I hate I'm over it now, but she's like, it has been an incredible thing to witness these people who truly have something that you can never comprehend.
I look at, I heard a saying once, and it always makes me feel better sometimes when you think you're going crazy, right? So they said, if you think you're going crazy, you're not, because those people don't know that they're going crazy. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, that's probably true. I get that.
So if you ever think like, oh my gosh, I'm going crazy, is there something wrong with me?
Yeah.
The fact that you
know it, and
think
you have
that, you're okay.
You've got a switch in your head that pulls you back.
I spent some time in New York recently.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because I was walking down the street, and I did not know if people were crazy or if they just had
Headphones.
their headphones in talking to people.
It is. New York is very weird because there's a lot of drunks. There's a lot of drug addicts on the street, which you don't see here.
In Dubai, no way. In Dubai, you don't see any of that.
So they kind of go round and round in circles. They scream out. They shout out.
There's a couple of times I was walking up the street. I thought, oh, this guy's like, he's lost it. He's talking to himself. And then I'm like, oh, no, he's just talking to someone on the phone. But then randomly I thought someone was talking on the phone and he wasn't. He was, going
Probably
a little
out.
bit different. New York's interesting. I was saying earlier to a friend of mine that no one cares. Like everyone's just on the way to do something there, heads down, they're just walking. No one cares. I feel like in LA, people look at you. In New York, people don't look at you.
They're really pounding the streets, whereas Los Angeles is a lot more of sort of a chilled atmosphere, which is why I prefer Los Angeles to New York. Mm-hmm. And I find that, New York is just such a fast pace and nobody looks at you, everyone, I just don't find the warmth.
Yeah, there is no warmth. It's interesting. All right, we're gonna wrap it up soon, but I want to ask you one last question.
Yeah.
You're on a desert island.
Oh God.
Okay. You're on that island for the rest of your life. You can only take one celebrity with you. Who is the celebrity, and why would you take that celebrity?
Oh my God, Chris.
It's a hard one, huh?
So hard.
Because then you start thinking to yourself, do I want to choose a male? And then you got to start, okay, so this is...
Oh, I didn't even throw that into the mix, but now we're on it.
This is single Caroline Stanberry, so you don't have to think about anything.
Well, the rest of my life, now I better take a male, hadn't I? I did have I had one of those, what do you have, those the list where you're allowed 5
hall pass.
Hall passes with
Who
celebrities.
was on your hall pass?
Well, it was Tom Cruise before he jumped on that sofa.
Tom Cruise, really?
Well, it was before he jumped on the stupid sofa with Oprah Winfrey. Then it just
all right, yeah.
Who else did I have on it? I laminated it somewhere.
But there's a possibility that it could have happened.
Well, my husband goes to me, the trouble with your hall passes is that you meet them all,
it
and
could
I
happen,
don't meet
that's
any
right.
of them. Yeah.
I mean, imagine if Ben Stiller was on it.
Probably was. Who would I take? Oh God, someone hot. I don't know. You start.
But you remember, you're with them for the rest of your life, so you just don't want someone that's. It's not just about the looks, because
Well, it might be quite important, Chris, at some point.
At the end of the day, looks, no matter how
they
hot
fade.
someone is, after so long with them, those looks mean nothing.
Well, let me throw you that question straight back, because I'm floundering.
Emily Ratajkowski, is that her name? Emily Ratajkowski?
Oh, so that's nothing to do with the looks. Yeah, not at all, because the brain is so amazing.
Yeah, well, I figured, I've never met her.
I mean, you've literally gone for some Victoria's Secret model whose body is ridiculously not normal.
Yeah.
And you're stuck on an island with her for the rest of your life.
The rest of my life, just me and Em. How
Em.
are you, babe?
Cooking for you
You're
every day.
all right? Remember
Sorry,
that
Brianna.
music video clip that you did? No, this is single, Chris. This is not, if I had the option, of course, I'd take...
Brianna with it.
Yeah, or what the kids, hold on now.
The kids
it's very
too.
hard.
It's very hard. Very hard.
It was either Emily or The Rock, to tell you the truth. Because I love The Rock. And The Rock is just I know I'd be protected. He'd be like, yo, let's go to the gym. Let's go work out. If there was anything going on, he'd just cover me with his Chris, I got you, man. He was Moana, so he knows island sort of stuff.
I might take Mark Wahlberg with me.
Why?
I know he's hot. I'd definitely be passionate. Works out all day. Got a great body, and he seems really funny.
Yeah, Mark Wahlberg's pretty cool. I like Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah, I think we'd make beautiful babies.
Yeah, all right. Well, just relax. I didn't go into that.
We're there all
going
day.
really into it. You know what we both didn't choose, which we probably should have thought about, is a musician, because the musician will be able to sing to us and perform for us all day. Do you know what I mean?
That would irritate the hell out of me. Someone followed me around and sat behind me all day.
The guitar, hot musician. Who's a hot musician?
Who do I?
Are you into Lenny Kravitz?
Oh, Maluma.
Oh, Maluma.
So hot. Yeah, Maluma can be on an island with me for the rest of my life. No problem.
All right, just
we
relax.
also would have beautiful
Caroline,
babies.
we're only hypothetically... She's really getting into
I'm
it.
packing my suitcases.
Yeah, she's already gone. Hi, Jem, husband, we love you, remember.
Kids, ciao.
Yeah, she's actually, Caroline's actually, can I be stuck on an island? Can someone say, we've got islands here in Dubai. You're like, let me do it.
Yes, send me to. What's the island I go
Lebanon
to?
Island.
There's what I go on the weekends.
And the one in Abu Dhabi.
Nurai.
Nurai.
Does that count?
Yeah, no.
Nurai Island for a week with him.
You're like, you're going to go back to your husband now.
Yeah.
Hey, on the podcast,
Yeah.
Chris has asked me on a challenge. I've got to go stay on an island.
With Maluma.
With Maluma, babe. It's only for this podcast, babe. I'm doing it for the show.
Love you.
Yeah.
Love you. It's
Okay.
all for work.
So you're going with
Maluma, and
Maluma.
you're with Emily Ratajkowski.
Emily
That
Ratajkowski.
never gets out, the one that never wears anything except for a G-string. That
Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like, it's literally like a toothpick.
Hold on. Okay.
Yeah.
Or the Rock.
Got it?
Or the Rock.
Yeah. No, the Rock in you is like something I really don't want to picture.
Either do I.
You'd be the girl.
Yeah, stop that. Don't even know what you're talking about. It's a clean show, this podcast.
Very clean.
Well, that is it for us. Chris and Caroline's Not So Epic podcast.
Chris with a K again. In case any of you got it.
Follow us. Please tell your friends about us. We're obviously on YouTube as well if you want to watch this, if you're only listening to us. And on Angami, iTunes, Spotify, you name it, we are there. Send us an inbox on Instagram.
Ask us any questions. We really want to be led by you.
Okay. What color is this nail polish, by the way?
Blue, Chris.
Is it really blue?
It matches my jean jacket. Yes, Chris.
Okay, we're learning. Thank you, Chris and Caroline. We'll catch you next week. Bye.
Bye.
It's Chris Fade and Caroline Stanbury's Not So Epic podcast.
Brought to you by NMC Healthcare and Cosmisurge. Head to cosmisurge.com.